like, this is how you do it and this is how we'll do it forever, because that's not how we are as humans. And then like also trying to remember, like, to still just be yourself and be true to yourself while you're also being true to your children and your partner, and you have a job that you let, like there's just so many
moving parts.
Yeah, so many moving parts.
Yeah.
And I think that, and there are going to be times when something slips because something else takes priority, and then something else will take priority while this thing is moving on its own for right now. And they're just evolving, moving parts constantly.
And that's what's so interesting. I think you're such a great example of, I think before we hopped on, we kind of discussed how sometimes there can be a lot of judgment among moms, among parents in general. And something to always remember, like, every kid is different and every family is different. I think you're a great example of, like, you have 6 kids. And so you can see how you can't just assume that they're all going to be the same. Right. Even with one family, 2 same parents in the same home, or if you moved, whatever. But like,
yeah, exactly.
You are still different people. So the way you're raising them, the way, like you said, you communicate with them is going to be different.
Yeah.
The way you have an individual personal relationship is going to be different. And that's within one family. Mm-hmm. So now you have such a great understanding of how different it can be.
Yeah.
And I can see why you pass zero judgment on any family, because you're like, well, we do it so differently in my family. As long as you're doing what's best for your family, that's right. As long as your baby's healthy, happy.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like we're doing the best we can, and with what we know. And then when we know something different, or we learn something, or we realize something about our children or about ourselves or whatever, then we can tweak that. And so I think I feel like that's probably my biggest thing, like being a mother, is that I didn't know that in the beginning. I didn't know that there are so many different ways to do things. I thought that there's the right way. There's the right way to do things. And as I got older, and as I had more kids, and as I saw these different kinds of families, I realized there's not one way. There's not one way to do anything. And giving people space to learn and to grow and to do what's right for them. And I think is huge. And I think I'm grateful for the experiences that I've had to be able to be at that place, because I think it does give people room to be whoever they want to be with me. And I like that. That's what I want. That's my goal.
Yeah. I think it's so beautiful, because in a way, it almost like we get to have these children in our lives to almost help us unlearn, to, like you said with your second kid, he said, why do we need to put him away? And I'm guessing in your mind, you're like, well, that's just what we do. Like, we put him away. Yeah. But that was one way of doing it. Instead of putting him in a box, maybe he wants to throw him in the bag or put him in another room. Like, so what's the goal? The goal is to clear the space. So how can we do it? And to break it down, then realize, oh, there's different ways to do it, to then unlearn the one way you were taught to do it. Right. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see, like we had talked about, like, our parents had one way of doing it, and now we kind of have more information due to the technology and whatever. But we have more information, so we can make a different choice because there's been more information. If we were only locked in with a certain amount, we would probably do the exact same thing.
Right.
But we have this richness of information that we can get to, and so we can now choose a different path. And I'm really interested to see what will be available for our kids.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be doing it different than what we're doing.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think it'll be then on us to make sure that we are encouraging them in that way and not taking offense to it. I feel like a lot of, like, my parents and people my age's parents get real offended. Well, I did it that way and it all turned out fine.
Oh my God, that's their favorite quote. Like, let's put it on a t-shirt, get it for every grandma and grandpa, and let's call it a day, because that is it.
Yeah.
And they are so offended by it.
Right. And I want to do better than that. So, like, have a friend of mine, we have, like, this ongoing list of, when we're grandparents, these are the things we'll do. These are the things we don't do.
I love that.
Like, put that one on the list.
Yes.
And because I want to be better.
Yeah.
I want my children to be better parents than I am. And I hope that I'm a better parent than my parents were. And, so if everybody's just always working toward, with, like you said, like with the information that we have and, that's good. That's okay. That's the goal. Let's always be moving forward and not
Let's
get
be
stuck.
improving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that way sometimes about like, I put out videos, content, whatever, and I look back at a video and I'm like, that is so embarrassing. Why did I do that? And then I'm trying to then have a second conversation on top of it to be like, it is so good that I'm cringing at myself because it means
Yeah.
I have improved.
Right.
It's not that I was bad, which I was, but I am growing. And
Yeah.
it's good that you were bad before because it means that growth has happened. If you are the same, then we're not getting anywhere. But I do hope the same for my kid. I already tell him, like, you are more smarter, you are more beautiful, you are funnier than me, like, you are just better than me. Like, already you're better than me and you're just one. I hope she's a better mom. I hope she's a better
Yeah.
I hope I can shed all the chains that are holding me back, that are affecting my self-confidence or attitude or this. I mean, sometimes I really do wonder what kind of a human being I'd be if I didn't have the trauma responses that I carry with me constantly.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
I want to know that girl almost. I'd like to meet her and be like, yo, how's it going?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't jump when people ask you about eggs? That must be cool.
That must be really nice.
You don't get mad when people fold towels a different way? You just don't get angry about it? You just live freely and have a good life?
What a life. Wow.
What's that like? Yeah. What is that like? I want to know. Because it's so, and I have the understanding that I should just drop these things and let them go. But I guess in a way, I don't know exactly what they are yet.
Yeah.
And they just occupy this space. They live rent-free in my head, as the kids say these days.
Is that what they say? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Probably not anymore. Sometimes I read things and I'm like, I don't know what that says. And then like, I feel like, yeah.
I'm like 422 now. Like, I have no idea what that means.
Yeah. And it was the other day, but I was talking something to my husband. I was like, do you know no cap means like no lie, like no joke? I'm telling the truth.
I learned that one recently.
Such a weird thing. I think it's from like a song. The way we're describing it now probably makes it sound like we're 90. No cap.
No, yeah. Like,
no cap, girl.
And I'll be like, did I use that right?
Yeah.
And they're like,
yeah. I'm trying the word chewy because it was weird, and I find it so weird. I feel like it's the weirdest. Do you know the word cheugy? Cheugy is.
What is the word? Say it again.
Cheugy. It's
cheugy.
It's CHEUGY, and it's so funny. It's so funny because I think it's the weirdest word, and people brought it up to be meaning something. But what it means is having live, laugh, love signs in your house, or getting it's being basic, or getting lattes, or having those cups with like words on them, that's cheugy. Lululemons became cheugy. So pretty much our era, our generation, I think skinny jeans are considered cheugy. I think side part is considered cheugy. What I'm saying is we're cheugy, but we didn't know that it had a word till they made it up. It just cheugy is a funny sounding word to me, so I try to plug it in anywhere.
Like a granola bar, like
like a crunchy but a cheugy.
Yeah. Do you want the cheugy or the crunchy granola bar?
Yeah. I think the word itself is so funny, but I don't know if it has a definition. It's like it's just this era of living of when you bought things at like I don't know. I picture like Ross and Home Goods of those like wall things and t-shirts and I think they went after leggings and long shirts are cheugy.
Well, you know where leggings and long shirts can go to the liquor store.
Yeah, exactly. You can wake up with them. You can get everything done in them.
You can.
They're a mom uniform, and everyone gets one. When you give birth, you get a pair of leggings.
And you get the, you get all the privileges that come with that, like, drinking wine with your dinner and you know,
There are
going
privileges to being chuggy, all right, young kids.
That's right. Listen here.
Listen here, guys.
Listen here, dearies.
All right, Cheryl, I have to go and feed my baby and get to get
right.
with her. But I loved talking to you,
It was
and
so
I'd
fun.
love to talk to you again.
Yes, I would love this.
When people say that someone is a breath of fresh air, I understood it, but I think you are that.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I think you are that. You're very like uplifting and confident in what you're doing, and it comes from this knowledge that you like feel within yourself when it comes to your family, when it comes to your teaching. And gosh, I just want to see more of that in the world. But like, you are literally doing God's work. I don't know whether you're religious or not, but like, you are helping families.
I love it.
You're helping your own family, and they're gonna have families. Like, you're being a great mom, and they're gonna have great kids. Like, and then you're helping all these other kids. I mean, it's just beautiful. But you are that. Like, you shine when you talk about it. It's so pleasant. I've never really used that word, but like, that's what you are. You're very like that's that.
That's very sweet. Thank you. This has been really fun. This has been. I think you're doing a great job. I was a little bit nervous to come on.
You got here early, and like no one ever has. You're so far one of my favorite guests because
as soon as you said Cheryl, I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. Like the first word came out of your mouth, and I was like, okay, like immediately I was at ease, and I was like, okay, this is going to be great. So you do a great job.
That makes me so happy. Sometimes when I just ask people like, hey, I'd love to have you on, let's talk about your